and welcome to Let's Talk About Real Estate and the Boardroom series. My name is Lisa B. Today we're going to be speaking with Emil Juresic, and he is from NGU. NGU have world domination in their sites at the moment, so look out for them. Emil features in our new book, Real Estate Agents, What You Need to Know Now. And Emil has shared some amazing tips in here, fantastic tips. If you haven't got the book, get it. And today, this is an interview I did with Emil a little while ago, and he shares with us his story, very inspirational. Emil lost everything, turned everything around, and now just has success in his sites. So let me know what you think of the interview. It's very, very raw, very, as I said, very inspirational. And just know that sometimes in real estate and life that, you know, things can really look like they can't get any worse and whatever, and somehow we manage to turn them around and end up bigger and better than ever. So Emil is one of those stories. So really hope you enjoy the interview, and please leave some comments and let us know what you think. When did you start in real estate? What did you do before real estate? And what did you learn from your past employment?
Well, NGU Real Estate, as a company, we only started about 2 years ago. And we started NGU Real Estate. We felt there was a need for a company that's going to be moving ahead with times. My background is property development. My history is I came to Australia when I was as a refugee when I was 16 years old. I barely finished grade 12. I was never too much interested in school, I guess. I always was more entrepreneurial in a way. And when I was 18, I started working really hard in construction myself, and bought a first block of land when I was 18. I bought it for $73,000. So I built a house for $101, and I sold it for $295,000 within 12 months. I thought I was the richest man in Australia. So between age of 18 and age of 27, I've developed well over 100 properties myself. So I had a really clean business model. What I would do, I would look for a great land, I would buy land, I would build something that's going to complement the land, and I would use real estate agents to sell the land for me. For 3 years straight, we started building quite a lot for other companies. Weakness as my young businessman, that 98% of my work, construction work, was for one company. And at age 30, the company that I was working for, they went under and they dragged me with them. All of my eggs were in one basket because I was really contracting to one business myself. So all the work, to cut it short, all the work that I did between age 18 and age 30, I pretty much lost everything. When I say lose everything, a lot of people, you know, they might make $1 million in 12 months and they might lose it, and, you know, it hurts. But when you work 7 days a week for 12 years straight, and when you make a lot more than $1 million, when you build a name for yourself, you become respected in community because you've started something from nothing. And when you lose everything, it does hurt a lot. So losing everything was hard. Option that I had then was stay on the ground and cry and beat myself up, or use the knowledge that I gained during my 12 years experience in business as an advantage to myself to keep moving forward. And because I didn't give up, I was thinking, well, what it is that I'm going to do next. I just worked so hard for 12 years. I'm not going to really give up. I'm going to use this as a lesson. And I used to blame everybody for me, you know, losing my company that I built about 12 years. It's everybody's fault. This person screwed me. But then, you know what? I had to look at myself in a mirror, and I said, everything that has happened, it's my fault. 100%. If somebody used me for something, if somebody screwed me for whatever reason, it is my fault because I was weak enough that I let them do so.
So what did you actually learn?
There's no feelings in business. Business is like a brothel. I'm going to be very blunt here. So unfortunately, a lot of guys, they go to brothel, they sleep with somebody once, and they walk out. That's it, one-way street. Business is the same. In business, everybody's there just to get something for themselves. That's it. In business, unfortunately, everybody's there for that moment to make as much money that they can out of you today. That's it. We are living in a very cruel world at the moment where everybody's there for themselves and people are not thinking long term. There's no more handshake deals. There's no more, you know what, I'm going to do business with you. I'm going to make a little bit out of you, but a little bit for next 20 years. No, everybody wants to be rich today. Everybody wants to be worth $100 million today. Everybody wants to drive a $200,000 car today. There's no such a thing as, you know what, you got to put hard work in before the fruit comes back to you. I have learned how to be more cautious, how to be more calculated in business and life in general, how not to take anything for granted, how to appreciate family more and people that are good to you, and how to really keep my head very high and how not to give up. Because when you try so hard for 12 to 13 years and when you lose everything, the easiest thing to do is to give up. I didn't. So one thing that I've learned is the strength that I had within myself to lift my head up and keep moving forward.
And that's where NGU came from.
And I didn't give up, and NGU stands for never give up. I didn't give up. And when we obviously starting from scratch again, after losing everything, it's the hardest thing in the world. I mean, over the last 8 years hasn't been all easy. You know, it's very hard to get up and keep working again when you fail on your ass so hard. But step by step, we started developing quite a bit, and 6 years in a row of developing homes. 2 years ago, going back to your other question, is how did NGU start? 2 years ago, I simply had enough of dealing with real estate agents. 2 years ago, I said to myself, one, I had enough of bullshit that agents keep talking. I had enough of their promises, how they're going to deliver the world, and I had enough of agents, most importantly, not understanding the product that they're selling. Biggest problem with real estate agents today, anywhere in the world, is they are great salespeople, but they're not educated by the properties that they are selling. They don't understand the construction costs. They don't understand what goes into homes. Every agent, if I have a $2 million house, they would come to me and they would say, look, your home is worth $2 million. And I said, how you base the value of my home? And they would say, look, 10 other houses in the area sold for this much, and they would be comparing my house to other homes. And which is very wrong way to valuing any house, because every single house costs different dollars per square meter to build. And so that's the way really you can value anything, if you're really understanding the cost of it. And another thing that I was really not happy with, that agents were not moving with times. For 100 years, real estate was done the same way. And what I mean by the same way is that if somebody wants to sell a house, they would take the photos, they would put that property on in front of their window in their office, so people can find out about a home like that. And two, right now they would be putting it on two websites that are very popular in Australia. But even when they put it on those websites right now, they're still sitting and waiting for buyers to find them. I was annoyed with that because there's so much available online platforms that you can actually market properties and focus on hunting for buyers instead of you just sitting on your ass waiting for buyers to find you. When I wanted to start NG Real Estate, I thought to myself, look, I have successful companies like Ray White, like Remax, like LJ Hooker, like First National, Professionals Place, and everybody else out there, and who the hell am I to take on the big boys? I'm just a little Emil Juresic that tried so freaking hard from age 18 till age 30, and fell on his ass, lost everything, kept getting back up again, and made it back up again, and now wants to start real estate, and right, I want to take them on. I wanted to be a typical agent starting from nothing. I wanted to show my agents that are coming to work for me in the future that it is possible if you are creative enough and if you put enough hard work that success can come. And obviously after 12 months we purchased our own office here in Toowong. We have 807 square meters, and in less than 2 years we got 5 real estate offices, and we are at the point right now where other companies or other successful brands, their franchises are turning to NGU and wanting to rebrand to us. So that's just a little bit of our history about us and about myself and why we are today.
So how many people say NGU real estate instead of NGU?
Holy shit.
They try and say that.
So a lot of people when we were creating, obviously, when I was creating the name, I wanted to create a name that has so much meaning. I mean, there's a lot of brands out there, but they really mean nothing. I won't name them now. I don't mean to put anybody down by any means. But most of the real estate companies out there, every employee, every agent that is working for them, you can ask them, does this name mean anything to you? They would say nothing. NGU, standing for Never Give Up, we all can relate to it. I'm sure yourself and myself and everybody around us will once, there was a point of time in your life and we all had hard times when we didn't give up on whatever we were fighting for. And to every single employee that is working for NGU brand itself, it belongs to them because it has so much meaning that we can all relate to. How many people think, is it an Asian brand, is it a Vietnamese brand, and how do you pronounce it? Oh, it's like really hard at creating NGU as a brand than, let's say brand called glass. We can all relate to it. But in a way, we knew that the meaning of brand, it will overcome how people can pronounce it or not in the future. Name is one thing, but the people in a business is another. Even NGU, as much as we like the meaning of a brand, that would mean nothing if you don't have the right attitude and energy within your company. Workplace that we wanted to create, I'm actually getting goosebumps when I talk about workplace that we have. You can talk to any employee or any agent or any contractor that is affiliated to NGU. We have created a company that is really one big family to everybody. We need to create a work environment that people want to be here, that people can laugh and have a good energy. By being in that workplace. So to us, going back to meaning of the brand, I think the real meaning here is the people within our business that are responsible for other people's lives.
Well, I noticed when I walked in, everyone's smiling, so that's a good sign.
I gave them a pay rise just to smile while you're here today. No, it is important. It is important, and we got a thing that is called no dickhead policy in our office. We don't want gossipers. We don't want jealousies. We don't want people that we don't want bad energy. So we really try to work on us as myself as a leader of my company to give people great energy, so they can give back.
Okay, so you like to create a bit of noise online,
yes.
Right? So you like to be a little bit controversial, maybe a little bit provocative and all that sort of thing. I want to know what the upside is and what the downside is. And first, because that's how, you've got on a lot of people's radar is because of that provocative, provocative videos or whatever. So that was something like, and to be honest, I used to watch your videos and go, oh God, roll my eyes and go, oh, here we are, another bikini one or, another G-string one. But you got on my radar. So then it was like, oh, okay, well, let's just see what he's doing. And then I started to see how brilliant your marketing was. I always say to people, it's the whole marketing genius behind it. So it's not only just your video, it's the strategy between everything that you do. You've got your, what I call your little reality TV show as well, which I watch and I think, oh, that's great. You've and you include the vendors in it, which, they're sort of locked into it now. You know what I mean? It becomes part of the process.
Our goal is when we list a property, our goal is to make sure that everybody knows that property is for sale.
Everyone in the world.
That correct. So if we go and take property to the market, it's simple numbers game. We always say that more people know about this house, more people are going to come through the open homes or private inspections, and potentially we're going to end up getting more offers. More offers we get, we going to potentially get a better result for our seller. So with video marketing, when we started doing video marketing, our objective was to get good results. And what is the great thing about it? Everybody knows that house is for sale, and we get results to back it up. Now, a lot of agents are making noise, but they don't have results to back it up. In my first year as an agent, I sold over $60 million worth of real estate. In the second year, I will sell 100. And 100 million will probably make me #1 agent in Queensland. And I know I will do that by April this year. So when you have results to back it up, to back up your marketing strategy, nobody can say anything. That means everything is positive. Everything is positive. Property gets seen everywhere, and we tailor-make marketing to suit each individual home. So some homes you have crazy cars, models, bikinis, but then again we have families, we have kids. We create different marketing strategy, different stories. But does sex sells? 100%. Always have and always will. But we try to make it as tasteful as we can. We do make noise. One thing that, just to get back to you said was a negative. Negative thing is, unfortunately in real estate you do create a lot of enemies. And if anybody's talking bad and negative, it's more other agents than anything, which is bad. I think that every agent should support each other. It's a small industry instead of hating each other for whatever reason. So there's really no bad if it's working, right? Our focus is not other agents. Our focus is not other real estate offices. Our focus is not haters. Our focus is keep delivering results. Of course, you see some comments and some stuff and shit that people talk about, and I'm thinking to myself, why don't you just use the 2 minutes of your time or 10 minutes, to be more productive? And our job is, if we are focused on thinking about haters and what they say, we will never move forward. We will never be free and do what we want. Here at NGU, our goal is to be creative and as loud as we want to be. We all need to live our lives on our terms. Do what makes us happy. Here at NGU, people that come to us, great agents that come to us, if they want to work with us, we always tell them, we have ability to make you into one of the best in the country. But there's a price to pay with everything. Price to pay for any successful agent. He's going to have a lot of successful followers, but he's also going to have a lot of enemies, starting from competitors, starting from whoever. You need to be focused on what makes you happy and what is working for you. If what you're doing is working for your sellers, if you're achieving them great results, and if your family is benefiting from that, focus your energy on that instead of what haters are saying. Price to pay for any successful agent is for them to have that in the background.
A lot of agents particularly like to market in a safe way where they're not putting themselves out there. And if you are going to put yourself out there like you do, like, the top agents do, you have to kind of expect some of that, people jealous or whatever, don't you?
My advice to anybody that wants to do well, as long as the right people are supporting you, that's what matters. There's a client the other day, I sold his 5th property in the last 2 years, and that's what matters to me. But somebody haters, I have no issues them spending their time thinking about me, because that means they're wasting it. And if they're my competitors, I'm spending my time in the right fields, and that is getting more business and getting results done. I truly believe that everybody should just focus on their own business and being the best that they possibly can, instead of really hating entire world that's around them and being jealous. And I have no issues with anybody. Am I aggressive with my competitors? Yeah. I'm there not to make friends. I'm there to get results for my sellers and to be the best that I can be.
Exactly. Okay, so how do you hire people? What's some tips on agents that are looking to grow their team and to have that environment like you have here?
Look, hiring right people in any business is the hardest thing. Specifically, any young people, anybody that comes on board, they all want to be successful. They all, they're all saying, I'm the hardest worker ever, and they want to tell you everything that you want to hear. But the reality is, real estate is a very hard industry to break into for most people to be successful. What I mean hard, because everybody expects results from day one. The reality is, for any new agent, when they start, I always tell them, let me tell you, there's a bad news for you. Nobody knows you. Nobody knows who you are, period. Nobody knows your name. Your mom and dad and your cousins, they know you, but guess what? Even they will not list their house with you, because they want to list it with experienced agents. So when you're starting, nobody knows you. You want to succeed, you want to sell real estate, nobody knows you, you don't understand real estate market, you don't know what the hell you're talking about when you go and see people, but you want to succeed. The hardest thing for any young individuals, and I have them that start here and they quit in 1, 2, 3 months, is for them to have the attitude of not giving up. Because the easiest thing is to give up. If they make 2,000 phone calls, they don't get results, they want to quit. Easy way out. For us, any people that come to us, we always tell them that we're going to give you a recipe how to be successful in real estate. We can give you a recipe how to be successful real estate agent. Potentially, we can even train you how to run your own office, because that's the ultimate for any agent, I guess, in a way. But there's one thing that I can't do for you. I can't do the hard work on your behalf.
So what do they do first when they start? You get them cold calling, door knocking?
Okay, when it comes to any agent, any new agent that start here, obviously we are looking for people with people skills, people that have confidence, and people that have attitude of not giving up. So first few days, I guess more than anything, is really getting them to believe in themselves and teaching them the attitude that they need to have to keep going, and making them understand that success will not come overnight. So I think that's the first step, is just for them to really understanding how hard it's going to be, but also how much it's going to be worth when they actually do come to the end. So when it comes to what we get them to do, so obviously, yes, a lot of people, they said you can cold call and you can call existing database, and but also a lot of agents, we got a little bit of a different system where we get them to be closer to experienced agents so they can learn firsthand from them. I've got a lady that is absolutely phenomenal. Her name is Rhiannon. She's been here for about 3 months, and she's starting to list property right now, but every time we have given her a recipe how to get in front of people and how to organize meetings. And first 10, 20 or 30 meetings, somebody more experienced will go with her so she can see firsthand how it is to actually talk to people, how it is to compete against other agents, and how it is to win business. And we get them to be involved more in, from the open homes to private inspections, so they can really, first couple of weeks is really for them to really feel real estate industry full stop, before they can start swimming with sharks, and this world is full of it.
I know. So do they have a listing kit? Do you have a
Yes,
standard listing
absolutely.
kit that they take out?
We need every agent to be very professional from day one, and it is a competitive industry, so they need to stand out more than anybody. Most importantly, they need to understand what they are talking about in this industry. Giving somebody just a phone and say call people, and not really giving them the whole process of it is a recipe for suicide. It's an easy way to burn young, great people. And look, even when we were starting, a lot of young people that even come to us, they would burn very quickly. So we are trying to learn, and even trying to learn still today, how to really get a good person and capitalize on their strength and make them good, successful agent, because they don't know, they're inexperienced.
You don't know until you're in it, do you? You
Exactly.
don't know how hard it is until you're in it.
Oh, exactly. And it is very hard. But look, as long as they believe in themselves, have self-confidence, ability to keep moving forward, not giving up, they will succeed.
Do you hire slowly and fire quickly?
I have watched something on YouTube the other day. And I'm really, really, really trying to adopt this within my own business. There's a very successful CEO or successful leader of a company in New York, and he said, I don't fire people. And I was like, wow, why? If somebody is terrible, you want to show them the door and tell them get the hell out. And he said in this interview, and he's a very successful gentleman, and he said, you need to treat your employees like your kids. So, I'm assuming you have kids, right? So if I've met one of your sons and he's 12 or 13 or 10 years, how old is he? 11. Yeah. So, and think about this. He said, you need to treat them as your kids. And he said, if you have an 11-year-old son, and if he makes mistakes, what are you going to say to him? Go, move out of the home, move in with the next family, you're not my son anymore, game is over. No, you as your parent or as your mom, you're going to try to do everything in your power to make sure that you help him get on the right track, so he can be the best man that he possibly can. And we really try to do that with all of the people within a business, and as long as they have right attitude and work ethics. I mean, if somebody's lazy, you can't fix laziness, full stop. But so this is something that I'm trying to adopt in my own business. Do I fire people today? Yes, I definitely fire people, but I try not to. I try to work with them as much as I can before I actually let them go. I've really tried everything, even if it's costing me a lot of money. But sometimes, unfortunately, you need to make that tough decision and just cut it.
Okay. So what would you do if you're an agent that was in an area where you've sort of niched into the prestige market? What advice would you give to an agent that's in an area where it's not the high budgets for advertising and all that sort of thing?
Yes.
How would you get the same effect that you do now on a lot lesser budget?
Well, it's very simple. For anybody that wants to sell properties in an area where the average home is $400,000, for example, or $300,000, marketing is marketing. Simple one thing is, take a look what other 50 agents or 10 agents are doing in that area and do everything opposite what they're doing. So if you want to create a video marketing, you don't have to have 10 Lamborghinis, Ferraris or whatever. You can still maybe be more creative. Be innovative. I think the innovation is the next step when it comes to any kind of field. But agents that are selling $400,000 properties, it's much easier for them because they're in the market where there's a lot more sellers and buyers out there. I mean, how many people want to buy a $5 million house and how many people want to buy a $400,000 house? They are in an absolutely phenomenal industry where they can turn the properties very fast. They're moving faster. There's a lot more market for them, and when it comes to the marketing, simply be opposite of everybody else in your field, and of course they got to work 10 times harder than anybody else to be successful.
So going to that, how are you going to work forward in the future about having a balance in your life? Like, if you've got a plan, like work really hard for the next 3 or 4 years and then try and get some balance, like what's your thoughts on that? Or you haven't even thought about that yet? Or do you have balance in your life?
I'm very calculated. I think of everything. We all have a gift. We're all born to do something. Some people are born to work really hard, to have a really great family life and family balance and go on vacations. I have been like this since I was 4 years old. I grew up very poor, and I had the work ethics built within my body and my brain since I was 4 years old. And I have learned and adopted that I really enjoy what I do. This is my holiday. When I was 4 years old, I was very poor. I couldn't afford my own bicycle. I used to watch other kids' bicycles so I can buy my own. When I was 11 years old, I grew up in a war where we had no food on the table. We were surrounded by enemies. So I used to sell candles, when there was minus 20 outside and nobody else was selling candles because, one, it was cold, two, there were bombs flying everywhere. At age 11, I used to sell candles there because I needed to provide for my family. And I needed to be creative how I can compete against other people that were selling candles, and my toes would be almost frozen because it was so cold and my body was so little. I was 11. But all my life is built within me to work hard. But now what I have learned, being in my 30s, or almost 40 years old, I'm 39 in April, that I've learned how to really enjoy the journey. I enjoy creating something. I have started NGU. I'm the founder of it. I've created a brand that thousands of people are talking about it. Liking it or not, they're all talking about it, and I have created that. Nobody can take that away from me. Nobody can take the journey that I have created, that I'm going against with. And tomorrow, I don't have any kids, I have a nephew. He might take something that I've created out of my 60 or 70 years of hard work and continue doing that. I truly enjoy what I do. I truly enjoy creating a business that can help many other young men and women achieve their goals, and I'm 100% satisfied. That is my balance. Just do what makes me happy, and at this moment I enjoy working 7 days a week because this is part of me, this is my fun, and I wouldn't want to have it any other way in the world.
So what are your top 3 tips for success, do you think, in real estate? Real estate and business, I guess. Never give up?
Look, I can give you 300 of them that are really all needed to be successful. But one, the attitude of not giving up is very crucial for anybody. Two, that I always keep telling to everyone, you need to believe in yourself. Believing in yourself, it is most crucial thing, because if you don't believe that you can do something, nothing else matters. Nobody can give you any recipe for success if you don't believe in yourself that you can do it. So that, to me, I would put it as a 3, as a second one. And the third one, you gotta work your ass off to be successful. I work from 6 o'clock till midnight every day. Every day. While other people are partying, I'm working. While other people on vacations, I'm working. I give all of myself and more. And a lot of people, you know, they would, when people, you know, when I see haters, and haters are you know, commenting, you know, their marketing is this and that, and I'm thinking to myself, you have no idea how hard we actually work to be successful and good at what we do. You know, for me to be potentially #1 agent after 2 years of selling real estate in Queensland, I have to be 100 times more creative, I have to be 100 times more innovative, I have to be 100 times believe in myself more, and I have to work my ass off to get that. Otherwise, it's just one little dream that you can never get to that point.
All right, well, thank you so much for today. Like I said, I could go on all day. I really could. So thank you so much.
Great to have you in our office. Thank you.
Thank you.